This week on Country Music Junkies, we have Minnesota native and singer-songwriter Shane Martin on the phone. Shane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Patrice.
Now, for those fans who maybe aren't familiar with your music just yet, how would you describe your sound?
My sound, it's hard to pinpoint down. I know a lot of artists have a hard time describing their sound, but I'd kind of lay it out like the producer I've worked with in Nashville. He's given me a quote saying, you know, kind of on the teetering edge of country, pop, and rock, where it's just danger enough to be fun. But it's you know, it's high energy, modern country rock. You know, I'm all about good, strong melodies and songs. I mean, that's a lot of what's coming out of Nashville.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I've been playing and singing for ever since I can remember. I started on piano at a young age and been in a handful of different bands throughout my career, and I started playing acoustic guitar, doing some solo shows after the bands would break up, and I put out a couple of solo records and took my first trip out to Nashville in about 2009 and just fell in love with the town and the energy there, and recorded Rewind, my third album there in 2010, and I just kept commuting back and forth from the Midwest, the Minneapolis area where I'm from, and just writing with other writers, and put out my latest release, Light It Up, last October, and just doing really well. I'm just perform over 150 shows a year around the Midwest area. A lot of solo work, but I'm getting my full band out quite a bit more too, and just expanding the fan base and getting out more regionally.
First, we'll chat about your new album, Light It Up. You have 10 original songs on that album, plus an acoustic version of one of the songs. How important is songwriting to you as an artist?
You know, songwriting, especially in the Nashville country realm, it's key. I mean, it's very important. It's all about the song, and you hear it all the time in Nashville. It's all about the song. You know, I think if you've got a great song, it's going to resonate with a lot of people, no matter what genre of music it is, whether it's country, pop, or rock. But especially in country music, a great story is a great story, and I think it's the blend of mixing that great story with a strong melody and production behind it that just it's something I strive to get better at, and it's great. I love the creative process, and yeah, I'm always looking at trying to improve my songwriting game, and it's very important. So and I think once you can kind of move people with your songs, it's pretty special.
Is there one song on the album in particular that really speaks to you or really means something to you?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, of course I love all the songs, but The Small Town to Me, and there's the acoustic version, as you mentioned, on there. I mean, that really hits home, because I grew up in a small town, and, you know, it was a dirt road that I, you know, grew up on, and that now that town isn't so small anymore, but in my eyes, it's still a small town to me. That's the whole hook and premise of the song, and I've had a handful of fans that have really, again, resonated with that song and can relate to it, that they come from the same type of town, and yeah, I think for me it's a special song because it does hit home for me.
Absolutely. Now, you're a singer-songwriter. We've chatted about that, but you've also been described as a one-man band. Do you care to expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't consciously, you know, come up with one day, but as I mentioned, when I started doing some solo acoustic shows, playing around the Minneapolis Midwest area, you know, just playing acoustic guitar and singing, I'm like, I got a couple feet here. How can I expand my sound without grabbing another player? So I started playing tambourine with the one foot,
unbelievable,
sitting on a stool, and then I came up with this kind of bass pedal, if you will. It's almost like an organ type sound that runs MIDI from a controller. So I put that on a bass sound. So I'd be playing bass with my left foot, tambourine with the other, and I'd have the harmonica with a few tunes, and then I started adding a loop pedal with my acoustic guitar several years ago. So I would loop guitar rhythms. I mean, it would literally sound like, you know, three, four-piece band in one. And I still to this day, I get people go, wow, I walked in, I thought there was a full band playing. It's just you.
That is amazing.
And, so people call me the one-man band, and I think the beauty of it,
Yeah.
Nothing is pre-recorded, and I know some guys they play the tracks, which is cool. But I think what I strive to do is just keep it in the live realm, and it's fun. I enjoy it. It's something unique and kind of adds to the sound.
Well, that is definitely very cool. I don't know too many artists who are able to do that, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you were a top 5 finalist in the Texaco Country Showdown, hosted by Leanne Rimes last year. It's safe to say that is probably a career highlight for you?
Yeah, it definitely was, and when I think about it, it almost seems like a dream, because it happened so fast, and it was just a great experience all around. Even though I didn't win the competition, I was still in the top 5, and just making it that far was a huge accomplishment. And again, I love going to Nashville, so getting a free trip to Nashville and performing at the Ryman Auditorium that's kind of a dream come true in itself. So,
oh, yeah.
I met quite a few people in the process, and it's just something to put on the resume and keep moving on. But I enjoyed it.
Now, Shane, if fans want to get in touch with you, check out your music, how can they do that?
My website is the best way. It's just my name, real simple, ShaneMartin.com. You can also check me out at Facebook. It's my band page is ShaneMartin.band. I'm on Twitter as well, Shane Martin Band. But on my website, I've got all those links there. I'm also on iTunes. My latest albums are on there, and Pandora as well. So,
excellent.
And probably a number of other online outlets.
Well, we'll start with the website, ShaneMartin.com. That is great. Fans, be sure to check out his latest album, Light It Up, and you can find those songs available on his website as well. Shane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.